Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Clemson is going to kick the shit out of the South Carolina Gamecocks probably for the next 10 years every time they run across each other.
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are weaker than a plate full of pit.
Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go.
I'm not ashamed.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Appreciate it as always. Want to welcome in someone who I think might be one of the most optimistic people about the Gamecock program right now. That is my buddy in the upstate, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Well, I mean, if I'm optimistic, well, I'm one of many. I am one of many. By God, I mean, what a day. What a day. I mean, that's all I got to say. What a day. Now, you know, this young man is probably going to develop into what's known as just the best college football player of all time ever, like forever, infinity. And he's probably going to lead us to 4 national championships in 4 years. But, hey, sucks to be second place, you know.
Okay, terrific. Anyway, we're going to get into, we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, before we get started, I want to put something out there. Apparently, some of you were upset that I hung up on certain people that were absolute dumb fucks on the last show that we had. I don't apologize for it. You're fucking stupid, and I'm not going to listen to your bullshit. But out of respect for Carolina Jackpot, he asked me not to hang up on you for the show this evening because you have sensitive pussies that you let fucking drip dry when you piss. It's fucking terrible that you spit out stupid shit and I cut you off because you're fucking dumb. And then instead of being a fucking man and messaging me about it, you're a punk sit down bitch and you message Carolina Jackpot because you can't confront me because you're a fucking wet pussy whore. All right? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I will allow the calls to go on, and I guarantee you they're not going to bring anything to the program. But out of respect for the gentleman that's right there, who I have a ton of respect for, we'll let the calls go so he doesn't have to hear you cry and moan and piss and, you know, cum gargle all over everything. Anyway, moving along, we'll take calls momentarily that I'm sure will be absolutely outstanding.
Are you done? Because, like, you're scaring me right now.
Oh, I'm done. Don't get scared. I'm done.
You got me kind of. I'm shaking a little bit, but it's all right. I'll be all right.
Jackpot, you're one of the coolest people I know, and you're not intimidated by me. If Jackpot has an issue with me, you know what he does? He messages me because he has a fucking set of balls. He's not a fucking eunuch. Take some fucking notes, especially you motherfuckers from Knoxville. Anyway, let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart in West Columbia. Don't go there if you're a eunuch. Won't work out very well for you, but they do have the coldest beer, the best wings, the best people are at Callaway's.
Don't go where? The Callaway's or the Walmart in West Columbia?
Probably either one with some of them. Anyway.
Well, I mean, Walmart lets anybody in there, so.
True. Anyway, Sancho says, nobody's intimidated by Rob. Well, then why didn't I get messages instead of Carolina Jackpot getting them? Why is that? Go to the Talking Squalls podcast. You can go over there and they'll let you ramble on all forever. We're not going to have that shit here. Right, though, Jackpot, we'll let him go. In fact, I'll let Jackpot tell me when to cut them off. That way, we're all on the same page.
Leonard Sarasota says the Gamecock ship pulled into the harbor today. Good pickup for Beamer. He can find him some position to play in a season or two. Harbor will transfer to bigger and better things, opportunities. No, the correct time frame on that is 3 seasons. He'll transfer to the NFL.
Well, we have to see about that. Anyway, let's thank Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, read away.
Let's see what kind of silliness we got this evening. All right, it sucks to be a Gamecock. We signed the top recruit. Yay for us. Another Birch-type player we all will cling to until he transfers. All that hype to come to an 8-win team at best. Sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Jackpot, before we get into calls and everything else, man.
Let me, I got to spin it real quick. Mr. Boogie says, hang up on them. We don't care. We don't care. Oh, we don't care. We don't care.
Well, okay. No, we're just gonna let it go. That's fine.
Oh, we don't care.
Jackpot says he doesn't care, but I don't want to. I'm being really truthful here. I don't want to upset my friend, Mr. Jackpot. And that's
Leonard says, simmer down, Rob. You're madder than Dabo after getting a grill burn. I sent a picture out tonight of the Tennessee was behind Florida like 16-4 in basketball at the beginning of the game, and I said, "Looks like Tennessee's grilling hamburgers today."
Yeah.
But they had come back. It was a close game. I don't know who won.
It's 67-54, according to, I don't know if my scoreboard updated or not, but Florida was beating that Tennessee ass.
Wow.
So see how that works out. I thought Florida was the fucking shits.
Now they got that weird looking guy for a coach, and they got that white kid that looks like Lurch out there shooting 3-pointers and everything else. So yeah. Is
that all you need to win? Is a white kid that looks like Lurch and a fucking goofy looking coach?
Apparently so, because they have both. But yeah, they're formidable. Andy Hall, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Andy, for that. Anyway, for those of you that have a satchel, I'm sorry that I went off earlier, but for the people that message Jackpot, fuck you forever. Seriously.
Jerry
Jackpot
Willis says, Jackpot, why do you say yes, sir, when referring to Arkansas? You know why I say yes, sir. You just asked that question because you wanted to hear me say that. But anyway, Sam Pittman, the Arkansas coach, that's like his little mating call, like his little shtick thing that he started doing when he got hired, like get some camaraderie, get the team together. It's like, yes, sir. So
anyway,
it kind of sticks, you know. So it's entertaining.
One of my favorite things about Jackpot is that he'll pick out certain things about certain teams, and he'll just it's like a polite mocking where he's really shitting on them hardcore, but it's in such a polite way that you don't fucking hate him. It's a talent that I wish I had.
Well,
but
no, I'm not shitting on him. I mean, I think it's different that somebody says, yes, sir.
You called DJ Uyunglele the ukulele, and that's like you disrespected the kid's name. But for me, it's like when I sat down to interview him at ACC kickoff, I had to write myself a Post-it note: do not call him the ukulele.
Well, I mean, it's just too natural. And by the way, I think I'm actually could be credited as the person that came up with that, because when he committed there, I made a little video about, what was that, 2018, maybe 2019? I'm not sure now. But I was on my way home from work when I had the news, and I said something about this. I said is it ukulele? Is his last name? And I did a little ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, okay. But then other people picked it up. So, yeah. One would think that Lou probably came up with that because he used it a lot. But in fact, I think I used that before he did, because he really didn't have any reason to talk about him until like y'all played them in 2021. Didn't really talk about Clemson all that much. But yeah, interesting stuff. I'm glad you didn't call him that, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sitting down right in front of the guy, and I did a show with you on Sunday, and it was the ukulele this and the ukulele that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm having to tell myself, hey, dum-dum, don't call this kid the ukulele. That's one of those things that'll get you just run the hell out.
Well, being a professional, I should think you'd be able to do that with ease.
Yeah, probably. Nicholas Harbor, the number 39 recruit in the country, I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Jackpot. Young man that is slated to be a hell of a track prospect as well. picked the Gamecocks over Oregon, was the other team that was out there. Brock's already in it, saying he put Harbor at wide receiver. Apparently, he can play multiple positions, jackpot. But is this the most excited you've been about a player coming to South Carolina since Jordan Birch? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's well. I mean, I was excited about Spencer Rattler coming here, but then like after I saw him play the first game, I was like, okay, well, he's got some work to do. So, but as far as new recruit, yeah, probably so.
Is this the most optimistic you've been about the Gamecock program since the Clowney days?
It's the most optimistic I've been since 2014. When we went into 2014, I still thought that South Carolina would be a good 10, 11 win team. That didn't happen. So in September of 2014 was when I started to lose hope. When I saw that we were going to give up 100 points a game.
That was the Texas A&M game, right? It was probably the fall swoop, right?
Yeah. That was a real eye opener.
Yeah. Well, I unlike a lot of folks, there are a lot of Clemson fans that are out there like, he ain't going out to shit. I mean, I think I've seen that all over the fucking place. The way that I feel about it is the young man gets to go to school wherever the hell he wants to go. He chose to go to South Carolina. Here's the thing. If you're a Clemson fan, don't you want South Carolina to be worth a shit? Is it fun to go to the rivalry game in November and South Carolina and beat the shit out of South Carolina by 60 points? That's no fucking fun.
Yeah, they have to kind of go back a few years for anything like that because like this past one, like kind of didn't do it, so like kind of lost.
Yeah, well, but the point is that South Carolina being competitive is good for Clemson too. It's also good for other teams that are around the country, around the region. It should,
it is. We like to help people out, by being good, not just to help ourselves out, to help our fellow man out. Help out the Taters, help out the Seminole, help out the Bulldog. I mean, everybody loves the Gamecocks, and the Gamecocks love everybody.
Well, let me put it into a little simpler terms for the Clemson fans that just don't get it. If you're playing South Carolina every year and they're coming into it 6-5, okay, and they're a 17-point favorite or 17-point dog or whatever, like it was under the Will Muschamp regime, okay, that does nothing for you as far as helping your schedule. Okay, South Carolina being better and then beating a better South Carolina team does help your schedule. I don't understand why people.
Yeah, it usually hasn't worked out that way. I mean, normally when South Carolina's come into that game with a good record, South Carolina wins. I mean, and that. I mean, if you just go back and look at the history books, I mean, right. It's true. It is true.
I'd rather have a good game. I mean, the game where Aaron Hunt, I think, was it Aaron Hunt missed? I can't remember the kid's name. He missed a field goal, and South Carolina won at Clemson. It was one of the best football rivalries. It was Jad Dean. He missed the field goal. South Carolina won. Did it suck? Yes, but it was one of the best games I've ever been to as far as the rivalry goes. I went down to that shithole on Bluff Road and sat through the 63-17 game. That wasn't any fucking fun. All the Gamecock fans left. That's not fun. And no one gives a shit about it outside of the state if you win by 45 fucking points. So I'm all about South Carolina getting better, and that's real.
The last time I went to one of those the South Carolina Clemson game was 2017, and we came in there. I think we were 8-3.
Right.
And we may have been ranked. Maybe they were ranked like 25th or something. I don't know. And so Clemson was like a 12 or 13-point favorite. And we're like, we really thought, we got a chance here. We got a chance tonight. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And stupid Jake Bentley throws a freaking pick six on like the third play of the game. And I'm
Yeah.
like, God Almighty.
It was over. Yeah.
Here we go. I mean, and you got Kelly Bryant out there hooking up with T. Higgins. You got Hunter Renfro bouncing around like a little fucking pinball. Beep, 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 beep. Everybody on the field missing him twice. I mean, just absolutely sickening. It was 34-0. We left, and then we scored the last 10 points. Woo! But yeah, it took 2 hours to get out from where I was parked at. I was so hungry that I could have literally ate one of my hands. That I was so hungry after that because I did nothing but drink beer before the game. I probably drank, I don't know. I mean, it was a good bit. And then I didn't have anything to eat during the game. But so then after it was over, I was hungry. I wanted me something to eat. And so we ended up pulling into the McDonald's on, what is it, Rosewood, way over there. Mm-hmm. And it's like 2:00 in the morning. I ate this big ass Big Mac combo going on the road. Yeah, but that was awful night. Just awful.
Before we take calls, Jackpot, I want to the ACC released their schedules. There's a couple things I wanted to bring up. First of all, if you look at, I think it's North Carolina doesn't, I mean, they don't play they spend the majority of their damn season at home. It's really weird how their schedule sets up. North Carolina really gets some breaks this season. Clemson, by the way, the league office helped Clemson just by the way they set up the schedule. The Tigers do not leave after Halloween. They don't leave Death Valley until they go to South Carolina for the final game of the season. I don't give a shit that it's North Carolina. I don't give a shit that it's who the schedule is there. The reality is that you shouldn't have it's like 4 straight home games. And the conference did that purposely. I mean, I truly believe that.
Notre Dame.
Right. But I think they did that on purpose. It's just stupid. It should be across the board an even keel. And by the way, the Florida State schedule, for people that bitch and talk about, playing ACC teams, if you look at the Florida State schedule, they play LSU at the beginning of the season. They're on the road at Clemson. They also have a Florida team on there. Now, if you're going to sit here and rub your SEC lower back tattoo, you can't sit here and bitch and say that Florida State doesn't have a good schedule. You really can't. It's just the way some of these schedules set up. It was brutal for certain teams, Florida State being one of them.
And, I mean, they got to have a brutal schedule. I mean, they need one to get them ready because they're going to make the playoffs. That's what I've been told.
You're not. Oh, I was about to say you're not picking Florida State to make the playoffs, are you?
Well, I mean, lots of people on the internet are, so it must be true. They think Florida State's going to make the playoffs. Jay says LSU, FSU, great early matchup. I'm going to guarantee right now LSU wins that thing by 2 touchdowns. They're going to come out and get some revenge, take an exact measure of revenge against them this week or this year. Sorry.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll
see how that works out.
Where's that game played at?
It is at it's in Orlando, neutral site. Like they played last year in the Superdome, I believe it was, and then this year they're playing in Orlando. I don't understand why that shit. Why they're playing neutral site games. South Carolina plays North Carolina. Why? Play a home and home with them. Holy shit with all that.
Well, that's not a neutral site game. That's a home game for us. Bank of America Stadium, although it's technically in the state of North Carolina, it's our home away from home.
Big Barney Ross says, the last time I drove around Florida Stadium, there were so many potholes, my Fitbit logged me as taking 1,000 steps. Thank you for the super chat, Big Barney Ross.
Thank you very much.
Stephen A. is correct. There's a former 5-star wide receiver that started at Georgia, went to Tennessee, and now he's going to play at South Carolina.
I told my son, I said, dude, I looked at his timeline. Because, I mean, I'd heard of him before, but he kind of like faded from my memory. This guy committed to Georgia back in like 2017. And then he transferred to Tennessee in early 2019. I'm like, my God. I told my son, I said, how old is Buddy? I mean, he's got to be older than Stetson Bennett. I said, when he's out there, I said, when he gets out there on the field in the formation with this year with Antoine Wells Jr., they're going to call it Juice and Geritol.
Holy shit. All right. Chris says he's a DB. I think that's what he's listed at too. We'll have to see on that. Well, let's get I'm going to open up the phone lines, which until people stop calling Jackpot, we're going to call them the pussy phone lines. 803-470-2905. They are now open for you. Jackpot will signal me when it's time for me to hang up the phone. Because if you're going to be a pussy and just deal with Jackpot instead of actually messaging me, he tells me when to hang up the phone and then I'm going to hang it up. I won't hang up the phone. We'll just let you ramble on and act stupid. So there's that. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Let's go out to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, I'll let you know that I was listening to Shane Beamer's press conference about Nicholas Harbor, and they said that he was going to be an outside receiver instead of a defensive end. I just want to get y'all thoughts about that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's listed as a defensive end. I think that's what he played in high school. Now, do you know how much receiver did he play in high school? I guess he played both ways.
I'm looking it up right now to see.
I saw him play slot receiver on his high school tape, but it was very, very few times that he did.
He's all over the field, from what I understand. From what I gather, at one point during a blowout, he actually grabbed the headset and started coaching the team. That's how badass he is.
Yeah, he did. I saw that too.
Yeah. First time in history.
That's all I got for sure. I'll just see what y'all had to say about it.
So thank you, sir. In fall of 2022, Jackpot, he finished his senior season, according to 247 Sports, 15 catches, 439 yards, and 5 touchdowns, 29.3 yards per reception, 45 tackles, 5.5 sacks. So, yeah, he was pretty much all over the fucking place. I mean, that's
wow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And you got to think, too, he probably, I'm going to say he probably, and I don't know what kind of record his team finished up with, but I would think they're probably pretty good. He probably didn't play more than a half in most of those games. I'm just saying. And I mean, he went to high school in Washington, D.C. I mean, what do they have? I mean, they're not a state. So he couldn't have gone to a state championship game. I mean,
hold on, let me see. Archbishop. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out.
Archbishop Carroll. I talked about that in my video on that. I mean, why all these schools up north like that? Why they all got to have these screwed up names? These high schools.
I think it's. Hold on. I think it's like it's a Catholic school, Jackpot.
Why can't we just have Jones County High? I mean.
Because it's a private Catholic school.
Oh Lord.
It's one of those things. I mean, I'm just telling you what it says here. I'm going to the website. Hold on, let's see what it tells me about Archbishop. Let's see here. Admissions, student life. Let's see your admissions. How you have to apply to go there. Let's see how much tuition. Tuition for the academic year. You want to take a guess at how much it costs to go to this school, Jackpot, for the 2022-2023 year?
$149.
$16,791.
Is that like in current dollars?
In current dollars, yeah, $16,000 per year.
Get it paid? Can I get it paid for with NIL?
I don't know about that. It's $16,000 if you want to.
So he goes to a Catholic high school. So I guess, like he that Bojangles deal, but that means like on Fridays that Nicholas Harbor can't eat from Bojangles then. So he's got to go to Long John Silver's.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can eat chicken on Friday and be Catholic. It's just red meat, right?
I think you're supposed to eat fish. I don't know. I'm not ripping the Catholics. I don't want it to come across like I'm being.
No, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying.
I don't really know.
It's big. See, I mean, what a nice kid. I mean, he's like, he's going to do commercials and stuff like that for a restaurant he can't even eat at one time a week.
Good point. Yeah, there's that.
Paul White says he's not going to contribute much of all. He's a flash for the program.
And once again, and Paul, how can you determine that? How can you possibly determine that from what we know about him right now? Because here's what we know. We know that he's a top 40 recruit in the country. We know he plays both ways on offense and defense. We know that the South Carolina track coach basically blew a load through the ceiling when he said he was going to come there. They're talking about he has Olympic style or Olympic type speed. These are all things that are without a doubt, but you're just going to sit here and say he's not going to impact the football field at all. Come on, man. You don't know for sure. Now, I don't know if he's going to be the greatest thing ever either, but we don't know. He hasn't gotten out there yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming in with some accolades. I mean, he's definitely not he's not Rudy. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. That's people just put too much into that shit too, but 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you would like to join the on the program. We're not, it's just weird to sit here and mock a 17, 18-year-old kid. You don't know what he's going to be. You have no clue. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Brock says, Brock is our Catholic expert. As a Catholic, you can eat whatever on Fridays. However, during Lent, you cannot eat animals from the land or air. Okay. He may just be goofing on us for all I fucking know. Let's go out to the phone.
You can eat them from the sea. So that means I can't eat rattlesnake.
Welcome to the program. Have you ever eaten rattlesnake?
No, but I mean, I might want to try it.
Why would I eat rattlesnake?
Why not?
Because they're poisonous.
Doesn't mean you can't eat them.
I ain't trying to die.
You can't eat. Doesn't mean you can't eat them though.
You don't eat that part.
You don't eat the venom sac.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that player that South Carolina got, he's a good player, man. I think he'll end up doing good things. But I'll tell you what, though, kind of switch gears a little bit. Any update on the Todd Monken situation? Any update with him?
The only thing I've heard is that Tampa Bay has said that they interviewed him to be the offensive coordinator. That's all that I've heard.
I don't know anything else. It's kind of quiet.
Well, from what I've been hearing from a lot of Georgia fans, they are, let's just say, very concerned if he leaves. Because the fear is that they're going to go back to Mike Bobo as OC.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Kirby Smart's going to pull a big name eventually because he's got that kind of clout now. Problem is, we're kind of far into it. You know what I mean? And we're kind of far into when you be making those kind of hires and coaching changes. So it's just very weird,
Right. Well, see, here's the thing, too. For people that's listening, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Mike Bobo was the offensive coordinator for years under Mark Richt. And he was teammates with Kirby Smart. He's actually an analyst for Georgia right now. And people think that Alabama was bitching and complaining about Bill O'Brien. That ain't got nothing on what Georgia fans used to say about Mike Bobo.
So the Gamecock fans have had their taste of Mike Bobo. And I think I can speak for the Gamecock fans when I say they don't fucking like him either. So, I mean, the guy left in the middle of the night after agreeing to be the offensive coordinator and took his ass to Auburn. Didn't even tell Shane Beamer bye. Pulled up his Volkswagen Beetle and drove straight to Auburn in the middle of the night.
No, it was his Ford Pinto. He loaded it up in the middle of the night, packed his shit and went to Auburn. And then that damn defensive line coach, what was his name? What was that clown's name?
Clown McClownerson. I don't know.
Tracy Rocker.
Yeah, there you go. Tracy Rocker. Yeah.
He loaded his Pinto up too. Yeah. So
I venture to say Gamecock fans don't really like him. I'll let Kale speak to that, but from what I gather, that guy.
Yeah, we don't really like him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like I said, that would be the funniest thing I've ever seen because they think that they could go out and get anybody, and I'm like, I could, because Kirby's kind of a loyalist kind of guy. Like if you've been with him for years, like a Glenn Schumann, for example, he'll give you a chance. And for the fact that Mike Bobo was his college teammate at Georgia, I would be willing to bet he would probably make him the offense coordinator, and Georgia fans will be shitting themselves for years to come. Anyways, y'all have a good night.
You too.
Thanks for calling the show. 803-470-2905.
You didn't have to hang up on him, right? He hung up on you.
I didn't hang up on him. I promised Jackpot I would not hang up on him. So there's that. So, yeah. Jackpot, do you want to talk about the South Carolina basketball team or just fuck them?
I mean, really, there's no point. I mean, last night a matchup, a battle of 1-7 in the league teams, and they get blown out yet again at home. I mean, they can't. I mean, they play much better. I mean, when they go on the road, they actually stand a puncher's chance. At home,
not so much.
I mean, it's like they're trying to punish the home fans for some reason. I don't understand it.
Going back to Monken for a second, I saw a Twitter thread earlier where it was like, what if Monken goes to Tampa Bay and they draft Stetson Bennett? And Georgia fans were like, ooh. It was pretty funny.
Reunited and it feels so good.
That's funny. Maybe Monken wants to go down there and run a pro offense. Who knows? So I don't know.
I mean, he's been in the NFL before, I believe.
I think he has. Wasn't he an offensive coordinator at Tampa before? I believe. I don't know.
I don't know.
If whatever on that front. Either way, it's a mess. But still, I don't know if he's going to go anywhere or not.
I saw the Panthers hired Deuce Staley.
As their what? Is their running back coach or their offensive coordinator or what?
I'm not sure.
I have to check on that.
I just skimmed over the story, but then it said something about former Detroit coach Deuce Staley. So was he actually coaching the Detroit Lions?
He was coaching. No, he was coaching their running backs.
Okay, so I thought.
Yeah, let's see here. See what comes up with that. I read. Let's see here. Yeah, the Detroit Lions are losing the Deuce Staley to the Panthers. He will be an assistant head coach and a running backs coach, or he was their assistant head coach and running backs coach at Detroit. He's going to go apparently work for Frank Reich. Let's see here. Staley's been in Detroit for the past 2 seasons, helping develop and motivate DeAndre Swift along the way. And they say he's partially responsible for Jamar Williams' career season, crossing over 1,000 yards. They don't know what role he'll have with the Panthers, but one would assume it's promotion.
Paul White over in the comment section, it's all kind of loud, says Harbor said he wants to compete in the Olympics. No way this guy plays until after 2024. Okay, what does that even mean? So he's not going to play after 2024. He's not going to be able to play until 2025. And then he says we're dumb if we think differently. Well, apparently we're real dumb because I can't really even understand what you're trying to say.
I've kind of ignored his comments because a lot of them just didn't make sense, and we don't really know.
Well, they're just such head scratchers that I have to address them.
I understand that.
There are some things that can't just be left unsaid.
Brother, your name's on the marquee. You can say whatever the fuck you want. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So there's that. Let's go back out to the phones. Jackpot running the phones this evening. Good evening.
Evening and that.
Evening.
How you two fine gentlemen doing tonight?
Great.
I mean, Jackpot's great. I'm not a fine gentleman like Jackpot is.
Hey, Rob, have you figured out if you're coming to the Slab Olympics yet?
I cannot make the Slab Olympics this year. I'm sorry.
So now you've decided, huh?
Yeah, I think I was going to mention that on Sunday night show, but I had a boat show in Charleston, and I ended up working late, and I just can't do it, man. Too much going on this weekend.
I'm glad to know that. There's like 4 shows between now and the Slab Olympics that y'all have, right?
No.
Well, no, y'all have 2 a week, right?
Yeah, we do Wednesday and Sunday. So this will be the last one before the Olympics. Jackpot is going in and he's going to represent the show well. Would not be surprised if Jackpot won the whole damn thing.
Well, I thought you might all that.
I mean, my money's on Jackpot. Pigskin Pete's over in the comments section. He said, but he made that boat show, though. I mean, yeah, because it's kind of my job. You know, it's kind of what I do to.
Correct, Pete. That's correct.
So, anyway, yeah.
So now we don't have to call in for 8 more shows to figure out if you're coming on that.
No,
Saturday.
hold on. It's this weekend, right?
No,
it's March 3rd through 5th.
I thought it was February 4th.
Well, that's what you get for thinking. Oh.
Well, damn it. In honor of that, fuck. Holy shit. I really thought it was this weekend. My bad.
Well, now I'm really glad I called it. Does that mean there's a chance you might come now?
Yeah, because I don't have a fucking boat show. Like, I've got 3 boat shows that are, I mean, Charleston, then I got 2 more. And it's like, oh God, it's just a fucking, job work type.
I mean,
thing.
anybody, hey, Rob, I'm a bass fisherman. I know all about boat shows. Okay.
Well, why don't you come buy a boat from us then?
No, I have a boat already, so I don't need to buy a boat.
What kind of boat do you have,
but
sir?
the point is that I know that all the boat shows are in February. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Just finished one.
So
I got
March
2 more.
is a good time to come to the Slab Olympics.
You might be right about that. And that's my fault. I thought it was this coming weekend. I really, really did. So
well, hey, that's what this outstanding check is worth. It's calling you to let you know what your real schedule is.
Yeah, I feel really stupid because I thought I had it, but apparently I didn't. Apparently I'm just a fucking idiot, and that is my fault.
Okay, well, beyond all that, I just wanted to tell Jackpot that I'm really happy that South Carolina got 1 5-star this recruiting class.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. I mean, yeah, most teams don't get multiples of them unless your name's not South Carolina. So,
well, in Jackpot, I'm proud of you because you actually tied Ohio State in the amount of 5-stars that you got in this recruiting class.
Well, hey, that's pretty good.
That is good, but you know what the problem is, right?
No, they should be recruiting. The Ohio State should probably be recruiting at a higher level than that.
Well, the problem is that Ohio State got like 25,000 4-stars, whereas you got like 25,000 3-stars.
Okay, I mean, how is this relevant? Because we don't play them, and like,
I know you don't play them, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm proud that you got 1 5-star, which is the exact same amount that Ohio State got.
That's the tip of. It's kind of like the tip of the iceberg. this is kind of a setting off point for us. But thank you.
I understand. I'm happy for you. I really am. It sounds sarcastic, but it's really not.
I feel bad. I mean, really.
I don't know shit about fuck.
That's about where I am. I honestly thought it was this fucking weekend. What a fucking moron I am.
Come on, Rob.
Jerry Wells said, Carolina Jackpot, I weigh 360. Are you over 3? Oh, yeah, I'm 48. But you're not 300. Hell no. No.
Why does everybody worry about your weight, Jackpot?
I don't know. This guy just put it in the comment section. You'd have to ask Jerry Wells because I don't know.
Something's wrong with these people, man.
Jerome says Rob doesn't want to go. I don't know why y'all keep asking. I do want to go. I mean, I want to go hang out with my
going now.
Jackpot.
There's no boat shows in March.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I will probably go now. I honestly thought it was the week. I thought it was this coming weekend, and I was like, I am not fucking leaving my house after spending 3 days in Charleston doing the damn drinking Olympics with my coworkers. Holy shit. I mean, the guys that I work with drink like champions, and it was like, holy shit. So yeah, there's that.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be calling in every week now, twice a week for the next 3 weeks to figure out if you're really going. But it sounds like there's a better chance now.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely. I'm working on it, man. Seriously.
All right. Y'all keep up the great work and have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Fireball
Later,
says
fellas.
Kale is 4'10" and 295 pounds. Sir, that is not true.
Nah, that's not accurate. So
Kale's a legit. I think Kale's 5'7". I don't know. I'm not putting your business out there, but he's not 4'10". Jesus Christ.
I used to always like to say I was 5'9" with heels on.
Yeah, you got to have the heels on.
Lee Wilder says Jackpot's going to be going dressing up as a skipper. No, I ain't, because I'm heterosexual, and I want people to believe that to be so as well.
I'm picking at you too there, Fireball. All right, 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. If Jackpot and I come, I'm getting us tuxedo t-shirts. Dead serious. That'd be some fun shit right there. Some tuxedo t-shirts. All right, let's go to the phones. And we will welcome into the program. Go ahead. What you got?
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. Calling in to talk about South Carolina for a minute now. South Carolina is really doing well. Their head coach is putting out videos. He's got kids interested in coming to the program. And, you know, as a Kentucky fan, I know how important an offensive coordinator hire can be. I'm just wanting to call and get Jackpot's insight on how he feels about that hire and how important that is going to be for South Carolina. Because really, to me, the only thing that can really derail talent is poor offensive coordinator, kind of what Kentucky went through. How do you feel about that hire? And is that your weakest link, do you think, right now? The biggest question mark? And I'll get off here and listen to what you have to say.
Well, it's definitely a huge question mark. Almost as big of a question mark as the running back position. I don't know what we're going to be doing there. It's going to be a combination of transfer portal people and a bunch of freshmen. But yeah, the offensive coordinator hire, I don't think it's any secret. I'm looking at Carolina Jackpot's videos from about 6 weeks ago. I wasn't very impressed with the hire. Wasn't very impressed with his track record. But then I found out that secretly that Dabo Swinney and Clemson wanted Dowell Loggins. And they actually made a play for him and tried to get him, but he kind of spurned them. So they had to settle for Garrett Riley. Now, I say all that to say this, that, hey, this guy's already burning it up on the recruiting trail. So he gets a check mark in my book for that. Also, Despite his NFL record, there's no way that he can be any worse at calling the college game than Marcus Satterfield. So that's a positive right there. That was addition by subtraction. So I think that he's a solid C plus hire that could be elevated to a B minus or possibly a strong B with a good showing on the field this year. What say you, Mr. Sanders?
As far as with logins, I don't know about the whole thing with Dabo Sweeney, but I think you got to give the guy a chance, see what he can fucking do. I mean, I think that's, if he comes out and he sucks and he's like the offensive coordinators you had in the past that, that just were the shits. Like I firmly believe that the last two, the last 2 games of the season, or hell, the last 3 games of the season, I really don't believe that your offensive coordinator in title was actually calling plays. I just don't believe it.
Well, I don't either, but everybody, you have a lot of smart fans over on the internet that would tweet out, Sat's calling the plays. Everybody just stop it. No, he wasn't. I mean, I don't know who was calling them, but hire that guy.
Well, I mean, I don't know who it was, and I'm not trying to start anything on that front.
Definitely wasn't Dowell Loggins because he was sprinkling his magic at Arkansas last year. Yes, sir. So I don't know.
It's hard for me to sit here and just say, hey, you know what? Fuck this guy. I mean, he's been shitty here, been shitty in other spots, and he's just going to be shitty here. If we looked at it from that perspective, Bill Belichick should have never gotten another chance after being with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, we can go down the list of where guys kind of sucked at one spot, and then they should be given another opportunity. So, I mean, I believe that they really, really should.
Happy says Southcons PlayCon 2023 will be by committee. Might be by committee the next few years. Yeah. Could be. Fireball says it's Garrett King to Lincoln Riley. Yep. That's his younger brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Shit. Anyway, I think you should give the guy a chance.
Fireball
Now,
says, didn't Bill Belichick coach the Jets for one day? Yes.
Yes, he did. Very good. If he does suck, though, and look, coming in, if he's putting in a system, right, and they don't, I'm not saying if they go and be one of the best offenses in the SEC, but here's a thought. If you're a Gamecock fan, just have a fucking plan. You never knew what you were going to get when Satterfield would roll these guys out there. One game you'd run the ball, the next game you're throwing the ball. Have a set offensive mentality and then build on that. I think that's the fairest way to go with that.
Yeah, have an offensive identity.
Stop with the bullshit of, we're going to try to play this way one week and then next week we're going to play something else because we're the smartest guys in the room.
Brandon Kuhn says Bobby Crimmins was our basketball coach for a day. Yep, he sure was. Back in 1993, then he turned around and like a big bitch, went back to Georgia Tech, which was fine. They ended up hiring Eddie Fogler, and he had some success down in Columbia. But that was definitely a weird time.
Yeah, that was weird. Big Barney Ross says, if I purchase a boat, do I get motion activated big mouth Billy Bass? That's funny. Now I don't sell the boats. I just market the company. I don't like, let's just, I put together, I do their website and all that stuff. That's what I do.
I like to, speaking of basketball coaches down at South Carolina, I liked old George Bowl Cut Felton. I thought he was a good coach, but like y'all were saying, I think it was you that told me about it because I'm like a teenager then. You really didn't get social media, and so I didn't know all this stuff. But Rumor was Buddy used to come to practice like lit. I mean, that's why I got fired. Because I wondered, why did he get let go? Because his last season, they had a winning season. Apparently he came to practice drunk multiple times. So he was like Steve Sarkisian before, Sark. He was a Sark before it was cool to be doing that,
Who wasn't drinking? And, if you can drink at the job, and why not? It'd be kind of cool. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Vic Tube.
Hello,
what's up?
Vic Tube.
Hi. Basically, so I wanted to ask y'all, if I can tell y'all how I feel about Tom Brady retiring. Are we allowed to talk about NFL on this show? Or
You can talk about whatever you want, man.
Is he really retiring, though, or is he going to come back for a last match like Ric Flair?
You know what I think?
I don't know.
I think Tom Brady hated his wife, and that's why he went back to football last year, so she would divorce him. So he took another season of the NFL because he was too chicken shit to tell his wife to go away. And now he's retired. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, so I hope that he stays retired. I really don't like him. I can't stand him, actually. Yeah, I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm glad that we were able to send him off with a loss, and that he didn't finish undefeated against us. And then right after the game, he just ran straight back to the locker room like a bitch. So,
are the Dallas Cowboy fans going to hang a banner because they were the last team to beat Tom Brady?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
There's plenty of room in that big ass stadium. I hadn't won shit since I was a kid.
Yes, I'm glad that he's gone. Glad that he can, get the hell out of our division. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Vic, too, for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
What Brady's wife? What was his wife's name? What's his wife? His wife's name's like Giselle
Buchanan or something, I think. Or
Giselle.
Giselle was her name.
Yeah, and boy, if that don't sound like a bitch, I don't know what does. It just does.
So, in Jackpot's mind, if you're named Giselle, you're a bitch. Got it. Big Barney Ross says Tom Brady will retire, unretire, over and under with Brett Favre. Very good point. Look, I really think that. And if you look at Tom Brady looks like, now, first of all, he's 45. I think that's too old, but to be out there in the NFL. But he looks like someone took like one of those suction hoses and just sucked every bit of muscle off of it. His face looks like that. It's just really like, man, eat some damn chicken, dude. Eat a piece of beef or something. I think he went strictly vegan. And not that I'm mocking the vegans, but damn it, you're playing in the NFL. You need to have some muscle on you. And he didn't have any.
He's slimming down over there, and I'm blowing up. I look like a big blowfish over here.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that Brady is the kind of the last Statue of Liberty type quarterback that we're going to have. The NFL game has changed. If you're a quarterback now, you better be able to move around a little bit. This shit standing back there and throwing.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of shit to you.
What's that?
So you got to have a little bit of shit to you.
Yeah. Better have some.
But we know Trevor Lawrence can run. That's what they taught him how to do at Clemson. They didn't develop him as a passer. His skills as far as that go regressed, but they definitely turned him into a running quarterback for a while, and he can do that.
I think that any NFL quarterback, I really do. I think that now, look at the Super Bowl. You got two guys that can run, make plays with their feet. And if you can't do that now, if you can't scramble in the pocket, it's just not going to work in the NFL right now. It's really not.
Somebody said he reminds me of South Carolina's Colin Hill.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's Jordan Dealmaker. Please don't refer to him, sir, as ours. We borrowed him for a year. That's Colorado State's.
I wonder if
Dorman High Schools.
I don't know. All right, final call for calls 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. If you would like to join the program.
Chess Hall said he lost your support because he was late several times. Huh?
What?
What are you talking about over there, Sir UGA?
No clue what he's talking about. Big Barney Ross says Jeremy Pruitt's philosophy made the bridges I burned light the path in front of me all the way to Alabama. What the fucko that guy is. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I didn't get to. There was one other thing that was kind of weird to me. Do you know who Tyler Huntley is?
Yeah, he was running back for. He did play for Utah.
Right.
He's in NFL now, right?
He plays for the Baltimore Ravens. You want to guess how many touchdowns he threw this season?
He threw?
Yeah.
He was a running back, so I would say none.
No, he's the quarterback for them. He threw 2 touchdowns.
Lamar Jackson is the quarterback for Baltimore.
He got hurt.
Oh, okay.
So he was the backup. And he threw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and he was named to the Pro Bowl today. Because everybody's injured, and they're just like, well, we're just going to take this guy. So remember when being a Pro Bowl quarterback was a great thing? Now, not so much. This guy's going to the Pro Bowl. He threw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Well, he's got to be better than that damn backup quarterback for San Francisco. Holy shit.
Which one, Brock Purdy or the other kid?
Brock Purdy's a starter. The well-traveled Josh Johnson. Been with about 15 different teams, some of them twice.
14 teams, so he's making crazy money as a backup.
He's the Darrell Evans of the NFL.
He's trying to be Charlie Whitehurst and just be on every team and get big money. So that's basically what he is. So there's that. All right, Jackpot. I think we've had a good show. We'll be back at it on Sunday. We appreciate you guys as always. You got anything else you want to get over here, Jackpot, before we go?
No, I don't think so. I think we've had a great show tonight, guys. Thanks for showing up and talking a little football with us and various other topics. And we'll be back at it on Sunday evening.
I didn't hang up on anybody either. Don't message Jackpot.
He didn't. We're going to continue that streak.
We'll see you on Sunday.